CLB.
What up, world? It's your boy Charles Brown back again with another Talking Facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified on all the upcoming episodes. All right, man, we need to talk about Bill Cosby. We do, in fact, need to talk about Bill Cosby. 5-part series by W. Kamau Bell. He's a comedian, an entertainer. He's also an activist to a degree, different things like that. He directed it and put this documentary together. It was screened at Sundance Film Festival, Raven Reviews. Now it's on Showtime. And if you have not watched this show, it's not I'm not giving you no spoilers. All of this stuff is already out there. So I'm just letting you know that I will be talking about the show, right? The 5-part series. And some of the most shocking things that I found in this series. First of all, it's stunning to me the amount of blatant disrespect that Bill Cosby showed to people. Outside of, let's just start from what I remember of Bill Cosby. Well, and what I know now. So now I know that Bill Cosby was very disrespectful to a lot of black comedians and a lot of black people to a degree. But not only that, I realized that Bill Cosby has several different sides. And after you watch this documentary, one of the sides you're going to have trouble reconciling with unless you're just completely locked in and you're never going to ever believe any of these women, 60 women, right? That what we thought we saw from Heathcliff Huxtable on the Cosby Show was all an act. And it's surreal when you watch it back and you pay attention to what these people are saying about the times. It's so much to discuss. I can't even get to it all in this video. Like the fact that Bill Cosby used to have a line of models waiting outside his office at the Cosby Show. And he would take these girls in one at a time and lock the door. Let's just start there. We're going to start there. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's Bill Cosby. They're trying to bring him down for buying NBC. He's going to buy NBC. It disappoints me when I see people, smart people, well-meaning people that have a lot of intelligence get caught up in these. Yes, we do know of stories where they try to bring black men down. We do understand that. And we do understand that there are moments and times where people will conspire, right? But with the conspiracy, you have to have, even with the conspiracy, you got to have some proof, right? If you're trying to tell me Bill Cosby was brought down because he was trying to buy NBC, you obviously don't know how commerce works, how basic business works. First of all, for him to buy it, they have to agree to sell it. It's not going to be a corporate takeover. It's not going to be he got 51%, now he owns it. It doesn't work like that. So for them trying to disgrace him, right? This is the beauty of it. They could even disgrace him and he could still buy it. So I don't understand the logic of they were trying to bring him down because he wanted to buy NBC of all networks, which is up and down and over all around. Half the time it ain't worth nothing, right? But for some reason, people seem to feed into this narrative that Bill Cosby was brought down by a conspiracy and they paid no less than 60 women, right? 60 women who all have their own stories of timelines where they actually were with him and they actually connect to this man in some kind of way. So when you have people telling you Bill Cosby was being brought down and they bring up little things in the court case, and yes, I'll be the first to admit the way they arrested him and tried him and convicted him on a case that he should never have been convicted on, where he was given clemency from a previous prosecutor who basically said, you can testify in this civil trial, I believe it was, and nothing you say will be used against you. It will be sealed. And then another prosecutor who doesn't like this prosecutor comes along in the future and unseals it and says, no, we're using this against you. That is illegal. You can't do that, right? And Bill Cosby should have never even had to set one foot in the courtroom for something like that. But he went to court. He got arrested. They threw him in the cell. A lot of people didn't understand why he was in the cell, right? He wasn't in this. He didn't go to jail lawfully. It was unlawful. That's why it was overturned. A lot of people on the other side got upset when he was overturned, but he should have been overturned. If you're going to get him the right way. You're not getting him with what you have right now because it's not admissible in court. Based on the previous prosecutor making it inadmissible. It's just a fact. Eat it, right? But end of the day, if 60 women with 60 unique stories come out saying that you did something, even if it's me, if you can get 60 women in a room, and at some point I'm going to be like, maybe I did do that. 60 different women, like, are willing to go on camera and tell the story, right? These aren't made up people. These are people with lives, jobs, homes at risk. These are people that's going to risk the wrath of all these Cosby fans coming down on their life, on their social media, everything. It ain't enough money in the world. You're not going to find, first of all, you got to find people inside this circle that actually cross paths with. You got to find 60 of them. This is the part that people don't understand. You got to find 60 older women at that. These are older women, so they're not going to be easily swayed to get in front of that camera and start telling stories, lies on Bill Cosby when they have their whole life. They got grandkids, they got like daughters and so they're not going to do that. Every single one of them women have a name, a face, they have a job, they have something to attach them to. And it ain't enough money. How much money, all the money you're spending on these women, how much you think they paying them? Right? If you're going to, let's follow your conspiracy. If they paying all these women, how much they paying them to ruin their lives? Like their lives are like ruined. Because every single one of them that came out got chastised and they get all kind of threats and all kind of So how much, what's the pay for that? What are you going to take? If you're 50, 60 plus year old woman, what are you taking for that? And some of these women are famous, like Beverly Johnson, I believe. This lady's like uber famous, one of the first black supermodels. Says he tried it with her. And she ended up getting away from him. So what they pay her? I guess you're going to say, oh, she just wanted relevancy. This chick never was not relevant, right? So I'm curious as to the people who still think Bill Cosby is somehow innocent. My first problem with the entire thing, even if all of this is not true, even if let's say it's all not true, right? When you listen to these stories of this guy, he's telling you in his old comedy routines that he used to put Spanish fly and all this stuff in these women's drinks. He's telling you that. In the deposition that they basically sealed, he said, I did it. I put it in there, and that's what it was, right? And then you hear the defenses, oh, some of these women agreed to it. Well, if you're trying to get them in the business, you're going to agree to a lot of stuff. It's Bill Cosby. You're not thinking he's going to drug you and rape you, right? You're not thinking that. You're not thinking he's going to do anything like that to you. So of course you're going to be like, oh my goodness. Well, if he's saying it, if you listen to the stories, he's telling them it's fine. Right? He's giving them the pills and it's fine. So don't worry about it. So you're gonna believe this is how a predator does. They build up a level of trust. They build up a level of innocence where you believe that they're not. If you look at any predator, that's what they do. Right? They make themselves above reproach. Right? So yeah, we could talk about how Bill Cosby did it. He paid a lot of money to a lot of schools. He helped a lot of people out of their situation. He paid scholarships. He put a lot of money to charity. He's gotten a lot of people into a lot of positions. Even the cast of The Cosby Show. He put them in positions to eat to this day, 30 years later. Every single one of them, they do something today, they're going to be eating tomorrow, right? So it is what it is. We don't have no problem with that. But the problem we have is when you're telling me you got from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, you got a woman in each one of those decades, several women saying you did this, and it's all the same MO, right? Now, this is the thing. What if it was your mom, your sister, it changes at that point. When it's just a random lady, it don't matter, right? Or, oh, this white ladies, they just whatever. Some of them ladies is black. 1/3 of them ladies is black. So it wasn't just all these white ladies. I know a lot of people want to separate it by race. But there's a lot of black ladies in that situation, right? And my whole thing is, I used to love Bill Cosby. I used to run in the house on Thursday nights to watch The Cosby Show. I used to run in the house. I watched all five, I think it was 5, 6 seasons of The Cosby Show, every single one. Then went on to watch A Different World. When that spun off, never ever missed it, right? But then I had to ask myself, I'm like, beyond that, what did I like about Bill Cosby after The Cosby Show? He had horrible movies like Ghost Dad. He tried to bring The Cosby Show back on another channel, CBS, called The Cosby. Horrible. Dougie Doug was on there, right? Horrible. I'm like, all I really liked was his old stuff from the set, Uptown Saturday Night. A lot of stuff I was too young to even watch, to even pay attention to. Didn't even know what's going on. I can't tell you the storyline, none of that. I used to watch The Cosby Kids and Picture Pages, right? A lot of stuff aimed at kids who grew up to love him to this day, still think he's infallible. They think he's like the bee's knees, God's gift or whatever, right? So I'm like, what about this man that makes me think he's untouchable? What about this man that's making me believe that he could not have done this? Right? At some point, it got to be your intention to be intelligent. Because I know a lot of people are like giving him the benefit of the doubt just because of Picture Pages and the Fat Albert Show and Cosby Show and a couple of his albums, right? Which his albums was hilarious. The one, Bill Cosby himself, used to show that on HBO. I used to know that thing word for word, his comedy routine. But at the end of the day, a great comedian doesn't mean you can go out and rape 60 plus women unconscious. Like, it's crazy. Like, bruh, I couldn't even do that one time. I'm not doing that 60 times. It is what it is, bruh. It is what it is. It's just your character. If you're that kind of person, if you think giving a chick 2 and 4 pills and they unconscious and you do whatever, then they wake up and you're telling them, oh, you got sick. I helped you out. Here, take a cab. You'll be fine. And they're thinking that nothing happened and you done did all kind of stuff to them, right? And you did it 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, 20, 30. You're a creep, bro. I don't care who feel it. I don't care what you say. Because I got a daughter. I got daughters, right? My mom, my wife. I got mad females that if that happened to, I'm going on a murder mission, right? This is the thing. People don't insert their family in it when they think that the person is someone that they love, right? And they love Bill Cosby. We love Bill Cosby. But at the end of the day, when he's not defending himself, ask yourself, what would you do if it was you and this was all lies? What would you do? Would you stop every interview that brings it up? Would you try to get people fired that asked you questions? Because he tried to get people fired that asked about this. Whoever brought it up, right? Would that be your focus, or would you be on every show? Bill Cosby wouldn't even have gone to trial had he just got in front of this and said, it wasn't me every single day. I never did this. I don't have a clip of him ever saying he never did it. Not once. I can't find a video of Bill Cosby saying, I'm innocent. I never did this. And that was it for me. When it was just 10 women, 15 women, I'm like, well, let me see what Bill got to say about all that. You know they accuse people all the time, but it don't be true all the time. Let me see what Bill has to say. And when Bill started being more and more reclusive and less outgoing with the information and started getting behind lawyers, I was like, oh yeah, he did that. He did that. Because I don't care about nothing else. When you won't stand up for your own innocence, that tells me you're guilty. I don't care what the lawyer tell me. I'm going to be on every channel. It's never happened. I would never do that. It's not real. It's not true. It's not facts. Now back to my movie, back to my book. I'm here to talk about my movie because none of this other stuff matter. Bill fell back and stopped going on everything. So to me, when you fall back and hiding, you're hiding. You got something to hide. Yes, he was a great man when he did a lot for black culture. You wouldn't have half the shows, if not any of them. If Bill Cosby wasn't who he was and did the shows that he'd done back in the day, what was it? Mod Squad, right? He did some classic shows. Was it Mod Squad? I don't remember what show it was, right? But Bill Cosby made a name for himself, and he made us look really good on TV. He was very intelligent, but sometimes that intelligence gets you in trouble. Sometimes that intelligence is not for your own good, right? And he was almost too smart, where he did a lot of stuff. And I'm sure his wife had to know, because he wasn't that smart that your wife don't know. This guy married her in, what, 64? Something like that. And it's 2022. And you got this many women coming out. Your wife knows something, right? Your wife knows something ain't right. But end of the day, I think that you're in denial if you still think that Bill Cosby did nothing. You're in complete denial, and you might need real, like, I'm not going to say counseling, because who cares, right? It ain't that serious to get counseled about it. But if you're not listening to any of this stuff and you're still going by Bill is innocent, I heard the people get real technical in any case. You can go in any case, any court case, and get super technical and find something to cling to, right? I don't need no court case. If I'm going to listen to someone tell their story, right? I listen to at least 5 of them women talk. I don't need to go to trial, right? Just like when I listen to the people telling R. Kelly, right? I don't need to go to trial. I don't need court. You can't. Some of the stuff not going to be proven in court. I don't need it. I'm going on common sense, and common sense is telling me if you got all these women who are coming out of nowhere, like they're not. It's not like their lives just went on the same. A lot of these people can't. They had to delete their social medias, right? In this day and age, how are you going around without a social media? Because people are spamming you, right? You're putting your kids in the line of fire. For what? How much money? How much money is NBC spending? If it's NBC that's trying to do it, who's going around distributing all this money, right? Where's all this money going? If they're paying these women, it has to come up somewhere. All of them don't have a master hiding bank account. So you got to ask yourself, why is 60 women who can't hide the money? Because if it was that easy to hide it, they would have already found this money. So you have to hide it. So end of the day, why are 60 different women from all walks of life saying this man did this? If your common sense ain't giving you a red flag, then you probably ain't really trying to hear it anyway. So I'm not going to reach you in the first place. So end of the day, and I don't care what people think. I know what I think. All right? I used to love Bill Cosby. I used to think he was a great man. Then when he started talking down to us, the people sagging their pants, right? The pound cake speech and all this stuff, right? We always was like, yo, something ain't right with Bill. Bill acting kind of crazy. And I hear how he talked to a lot of comedians. And we used to think that Eddie Murphy routine was a joke, where he called Eddie Murphy and told him he can't curse in his routine and this and that. And him and Eddie Murphy got into it. And Eddie Murphy ain't like him for years, right? I just think that was a joke, but apparently that was real. He did it to a couple comedians. A couple comedians didn't like him. D.L. Hughley, quite a few of them was like, I don't rock with him. He's a jerk. He's always been a jerk. Always been presumptuous, the smartest man in the room, talking down to everybody. So who are we talking about? Why do we love him so much? He talked down to the black people, right? The poor ones anyway. He's above everyone that's not on his level. So why did we love this guy so much? Other than him being on picture pages and, these comedy routines, why did we put him so high above reproach that it couldn't be Bill? It couldn't be Bill. It couldn't be Bill. I'll be the first one to tell you it could be Bill. And I think Bill is guilty, right? It is what it is. You can say what you want. I don't know what to tell you. If you still run around thinking Bill Cosby didn't do nothing, then, I don't know what to tell you at this point. But I think Bill did a lot. And Hannibal Buress put it on display. It's sad that a comedian had to do a routine about it to get everybody talking, because a lot of people were saying this before it even happened, right? Just like Cuba Gooding Jr., when he came out and they arrested him for nudity and all this stuff, they were like, Cuba Gooding Jr., for years already, everybody in Hollywood already knew Cuba Gooding Jr. go too far. They said Cuba Gooding Jr. was known as the wildest guy in Hollywood. You couldn't take him to after parties because he would get too wild, he'd get too drunk and start acting crazy. So when he finally got arrested, it wasn't no news to people who already knew. Just like with Bill Cosby, it wasn't no news. They said that this was common knowledge that Bill was getting it in with these chicks and he wasn't doing it the right, he wasn't playing fair with it. This was common knowledge, but who's going to speak out? You're not going to speak out against a man with this much power, right? So end of the day, man, watch the Bill Cosby. We need to talk about Cosby. Make your own conclusion. You ain't got to believe me. Make your own conclusion. But I feel like Bill has a lot to answer for, and until he does, I don't want to hear nothing else about it. I think that what he did was heinous, and I think those people deserve more. Now, I don't know, should he be arrested or locked up? Because a man like damn near 90 years old, I don't know, he's like pushing 80 or something. I don't know what that's going to serve. If I'm a woman that it happened to, I don't know what him being in jail at this point, especially if it happened to me 20 years ago, I don't know what that's going to serve. All right? Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Hit me, follow your boy on social media, CLBMG.com. Check that out. Let me know what you think, and I'm going to catch you on the flip side. Peace.